Moving on to the next sheet, here we're going to look at if statements. Now you've probably used if statements before in regular Excel, just going equals if, and then you put a test. So if this is greater than that, make this cell say this. If it's not, make it say that. So that's a really basic if statement. You can program these in VBA as well. So for example, in this situation we have we're given savings data and credit rating data, and we want to make a macro, so a subroutine, that automatically puts loan approved if it meets these criteria and loan denied if it doesn't. So we're given the criteria: savings need to be greater than $20,000 and the credit rating needs to be greater than 0.7. If that's greater than 20,000 and that's greater than 0.7, put in there approved, else put in there denied. Right, so let's build this subroutine. So again, we have to double click on this workbook because it's a subroutine, not a function. And we'll call it approval, that'll be the name. And so we'll go if the range savings. Now here we're defining names of ranges. We're not just putting cell coordinates. So that's a big difference here. So before, in last week we were doing things like putting that in as C9 or C10 when we did ranges last week. But here we're actually going to define names of ranges. So to do that, you go you need this name box in the top left hand corner here, and you click on that name box and you have to name it. So there we've just named that cell there savings, and then we need to name this other cell credit. We're going to name this credit. So you can see you click on that cell, in the name box it says savings, in the name box there it says credit for those two. And then we also have to name this, we'll call this approval. Now what naming boxes does is it makes it easier when you're building the code instead of having to point to certain cells again and again. Alright, so we go if range savings dot value is greater than 20,000 and the range credit, the value of that is greater than 0.7, then make the range approval, so that approval cell, make that equal to loan approved, otherwise else make it equal to, make that range approval, the value of that, equal to loan denied. And then you have to put with if statements, so you begin by defining the if statement. At the end you have to put end if to tell VBA that that's the end there. So we've done if that range is greater than 20,000 and the range credit is greater than 0.7, then put loan approved in that approval box, else put loan denied in that approval box. And that's our if statement. So if we go back to VBA and run this macro now, so this workbook.approval, run that. There you go, it's put loan approved because that is greater than 20,000 and that is greater than 0.7.